And Davis is now saying Tank Davis feels he is the face of boxing. Do you agree, and why?
Well, listen, he is possible. He is truly right. He is the face of boxing. But that's because Ryan Garcia is the draw. You know what I mean? And that makes him the face of boxing because the amount of people that he fills in the arena. You know, since that fight, normally Ryan Garcia fans will turn over to Tank fans. And he's going to have the biggest drawing power, I believe. Because Ryan brought those people out. And normally when the draw gets beaten, like Ryan, when he gets beaten, the people that was his fans are now Tank fans. And especially how the fight ended. It ended with them being friends, showing respect for each other.
Absolutely beautiful thing. So yes, Gervonta will increase in profile after beating a star as big as Ryan Garcia.
Yo, Mike Tyson finally admits that Gervonta Davis is currently the face of boxing. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. In a recent interview, Mike Tyson was asked about the man of the hour, Gervonta Davis. Is he the face of boxing? And with a brief pause, Mike Tyson says yes, that he believes that Gervonta Davis is the face of boxing. And he also went on to say the only challenges for him out there are Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson. And I think most people in boxing would probably say the same thing, that those are on paper the biggest challenges for him. But I want to focus on the whole face of boxing conversation in this video. Now, again, I do agree. And notice Mike Tyson, he's had Canelo Alvarez as a guest on his Hot Boxing. And he also had Ryan Garcia as a guest on his Hot Boxing podcast. He's not had Gervonta Davis as a guest on his podcast, other than when Ryan Garcia was the guest, and then they FaceTimed Gervonta Davis. So despite having Canelo and Ryan Garcia as guests, live in studio guests on his Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson podcast, he still elected to say Gervonta Davis is truly the face of boxing. He could have said, oh, I had Canelo on the show, Ryan Garcia on the show. Oscar De La Hoya is trying to say that Ryan Garcia is the face of pay-per-view and all that. I don't think anyone really buys it. And I made a separate video about that. Check that on the channel. Now, I do agree Gervonta Davis is the face of boxing. He is the only fighter since the Floyd Mayweather era for real, you know, and maybe Canelo Triple G 1 and 2 to really go over 1 million pay-per-view buys for their big fight. Now, the other thing is Canelo did very good numbers. He did 800K versus Caleb Plant. But I think this is important to notice that Canelo was fighting Caleb Plant on Showtime. So not DAZN. He had all these fights on DAZN and none of them did these type of numbers. And he was also fighting for all the belts undisputed. Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis is fighting Ryan Garcia, who also did a good job, very good job of promoting for no belts. And then they did the numbers that they did. So it just goes to show you, like I've been saying, that belts are meaning less and less. And it's really the magnitude of interest that the fight fans have for the particular fight and the star power, because Ryan Garcia fighting Tank showed you that. No belts, because the fight took place at a catchweight, so it couldn't even be for Tank's secondary belt. Ryan has never been a champion, never had a belt, and it outsold a fight for all the belts that also had a very great buildup with Canelo and Caleb Plant pushing and slapping each other, and Showtime did an awesome job promoting with the All Access. So it shows that Gervonta Davis is the face of boxing, and Mike Tyson is saying it. Now, when it comes to what Mike Tyson said, I gotta disagree big time when he said that the people are going to anoint Gervonta now because he knocked out Ryan Garcia, and the people were all Ryan Garcia fans that basically were in the crowd and bought it. I think that's cap. I had previously posted this. Notice the racist, hateful aid of boxing will never attribute the success of a fight to a black fighter. Gervonta only sold because of Ryan Garcia. Or they'll say Floyd Mayweather only sold because he was fighting Oscar De La Hoya, Canelo, Pacquiao, etc. But the common denominator is what? And I think this is a tall tale and an old wives' tale that continues to get passed around in boxing that anytime a black fighter fights a non-black fighter, the success is automatically given of the event to the non-black fighter. We've seen it with Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. People said, oh, that was all Mikey Garcia fans in Texas. So how can that be the case when Errol Spence is actually from Texas? And you don't think none of the fans that came out were there to see Errol Spence, the hometown guy in the state he's from? Beyond that, I know it's cap because I was at the Errol Spence Mikey Garcia fight, and there was great support for Mikey Garcia, but there was also great support for Errol Spence. I seen a lot of ESJ shirts and man down shirts and strap season shirts and memorabilia and all types of apparel. So people have to stop with that, because I've been to the fights and I know this isn't the case. It's not just this one-sided, only non-black fighters are bringing people in. For example, for Gervonta Davis, I always order Tank Davis's fights because he has a history and a track record of producing, and he's skilled, and he produces a lot of knockouts. So you mean to tell me that people don't want to see Tank Davis, and he's an action fighter with skill, and he's putting on the biggest events? Meanwhile, guys like Oscar De La Hoya are trying to attribute all this success to Ryan Garcia, and he's saying, oh, Tank only sold 200K before Ryan Garcia. The collective did great numbers. Gervonta paired with Ryan Garcia, but you can't give Ryan Garcia, just listen to the logic. How can you give Ryan Garcia all the credit and say, oh, but Tank only sold 200K before Ryan? Okay, well, Ryan sold 0K because he had never been on pay-per-view. So that shows you right then and there what De La Hoya is saying is cap, because Ryan Garcia, if he is producing million buys on his own, then how come DAZN and Golden Boy never thought to put him on pay-per-view? And how come Ryan Garcia was complaining about not making enough money previously, just a few years ago, around the Luke Campbell fight? If he's such a big star, then why was he complaining that he was only getting 200K just a few years ago from Golden Boy? So either way you slice it, it doesn't make sense. If Ryan is the attraction, he should have been getting more than 200K all along. And if Ryan is the guy who's bringing in the millions, then guess what? He should have been on pay-per-view all along, and we know that wasn't the case. Boop. So I agree with Mike Tyson. Tank Davis is definitely the face of boxing. No one's talking about Canelo Ryder, and he's fighting in 5 days. And Ryan Garcia just lost. He could have been the face of boxing if he were able to beat Tank, which he wasn't. And Tank Davis did what he said he was going to do before the fight. So he's definitely it. And they weren't all Ryan Garcia fans. Let me know if you ordered the pay-per-view or went to the fight because you wanted to see Gervonta Davis in the comment section. And I'm out.